Hello everyone, good morning. Hope this video greets you really well this morning. I'm sat here at about 6 in the morning, just witnessing the most stunning sunrise and listening to all the birds. Gosh, it's so peaceful. The moon. I mean, maybe I'll take a little video of the moon and edit it in and it probably won't even come close to doing it justice, but right now, the moon in the morning, it looks absolutely stunning. Anyway, welcome, hello. Welcome to the Big Sigh. Welcome if it's your first time. Welcome back if you're a returner. Yeah. I've been feeling once again, like the last few days, resistance to filming this video. There's something in my gut that's like, and my throat that's like, doesn't want to speak and doesn't want to share, and it just feels a bit uncomfortable. But I like to practice what I preach, and take a big sigh and just breathe into my humanness and being seen in all of it, and that's okay. So let's do the classic big old sigh, and I invite you to join me if you like, as always, with that big out breath, just coming back to ourselves and just letting go of the mind if we can, and it's what I try to do anyway when I'm doing these sighs, is just forget about pretending that anything's different from how it is, and just being like, okay, what's really real here? What's actually real? So get yourself comfy, get in a nice comfy spot. If you can, take a pause from whatever you're doing right now. The invitation is to do so. Just take a really short moment for yourself. So nice big in-breath. Sigh it out. Just be with whatever's in the body today, in this moment. Whatever's on your heart. Whatever's real in your inner world. Just have a moment with it. So once again, it's been quite a few days now that I've been in this sort of wave of physical pain. So I've got a lot of physical pain today again, and I woke up with it in, the burn, like sort of like acid reflux type burn in my solar plexus, really, really intense. And what I observed this morning was quite interesting. I observed this human being getting really angry, really fucking angry, and hope and sort of that. What's that word that I love for this? Exasperated. That's a great word to describe how this human experiences the pain in the morning. And again, it's a topic I've talked about before, but to just bring some more light onto that, I really noticed the blame. So what happened last night is my mum, I'm at my mum's house, and she hosted a really beautiful, gorgeous dinner party in the garden last night. We had a barbecue. We had so many different delicious foods on offer, and sugar is my kryptonite, and I'm trying to reduce my sugar intake, but there was just so much on offer. And as I was in pain this morning, I was sat there and all of these thoughts going through my mind, and one of them was, fucking hell, Mum, don't you know that I'm struggling with like addictive behaviours around food? Why do you keep leaving all of these delicious, tasty, sugary options available for me? I'm gonna eat them if you leave them there. It's your fault. Just pointing the finger at Mum. It's funny. I basically gorged on these, I can't remember what they're called, but these like almondy things covered in sugar. Can't remember what they're called, but oh my god, they're so fucking good. And they were left inside, and they didn't make it out in the end. There was some dates as well. And I went inside, and every time I walked past, I ate one. And they're really like, not cheap. And I just ate nearly all of them. And Mum came and found this plate of nearly finished little bourbons or whatever they are. And she was like, where have they all gone? And I knew each time as I was eating one that my process, what I was observing in myself, was, to begin with, I was like trying to be covert. I was like, if I just eat one, no one's going to notice. The plate still looks full. And then I walk past it a second time. If I eat another one, I reckon I'll still get away with it. I reckon it'll still look like it's a full plate and no one will notice. And then I ate a date. And then each time I'd walk past, I'd eat another and come up with some like justification for eating this food. And then at one point, it's just like, fuck it. I'm just going to continue eating. It's going to be really obvious that someone's eating all of these. Maybe they won't realise that it's just me. Maybe it'll seem like other people ate them as well. But no one really went inside apart from me and my bro. And he didn't eat any. But and then it got to a point of being like, oh, fuck it. Screw it all. I'm going to eat it because I want this like hit of dopamine, and they're like crack, honestly, these things. I challenge anyone to walk past and not eat one of them. They're unbelievable. Funny. And yeah, I guess in the morning, I knew last night I'm probably going to suffer in the morning, not just because of that. I mean, I ate lots of stuff last night, but I just thought to myself, I'm probably going to suffer quite a bit in the when morning breaks, and I did. But I still ate them, and yeah, the process this morning was one I'm very familiar with. I started thinking, what was it that I ate last night? Started beating myself up for having lack of control, having that exasperation, for just being like, oh my god, why can't you just stop eating the shit that you know in the moment is going to hurt you? When are you going to get to the stage where you actually make the decision to stop? And that is, I feel like that's probably a relatively, I imagine that I'm not the only one. I feel like that is interesting dynamics. I mean, it all shows up for us in our own unique ways, but that's like addiction. For my experience of addiction has been like that, and I imagine that I'm not the only one experiencing this sort of thing. Yeah. But one awesome thing that happened yesterday was I got really triggered, and that was awesome. No, the triggering wasn't awesome. So Mum was running around preparing. I mean, we were all preparing for this dinner party. And I chopped up some bits, and these really small chopping board and I put it back up on top of the fridge, and I put it back where it was slightly precariously placed. And basically Mum later knocked them off the fridge, and I said, "Oh, sorry, Mum, that's my fault. I put them there." And then she was like, "Yes, it is your fault." And I was so triggered by that in that moment. I was like, hang on, fuck you. I was just being gracious and blaming myself. I don't actually think it's all my fault. Yes, I put them up there, but you knocked them off. And then I was in my little triggered state. And then I said some little snide remark or something in response. I can't remember what I said in response. But basically, Mum then said, "Well, yeah, it is your..." Oh, sorry, no, I'd already said that, haven't I? "It is your fault." And then I said, "Well, you did knock them off," or something like that. And then she said, "Well, let's not play the blame game," which was like, in my head, luckily, had the awareness to not. No, I didn't actually. I still made another snide little remark after that. Because in my head, I was like, what? You literally just blamed me, and now you're telling me not to play the blame game. You only want to not play the blame game when someone's blaming you, but you can blame other people. I sort of muttered something under my breath, I think. But, okay, none of this bit was the awesome bit. I then stepped outside, and the awesome bit was I sort of took myself away, knowing that I was in this triggered state and I was feeling angry. And I went round the corner and sort of hid around the corner, and really allowed myself to be angry and made space to feel fucking annoyed and all of the, unskillful stuff, blame. And it wasn't long I was there for. I was probably there for under a minute. But I just really allowed myself to feel the fucking anger and the resentment and annoyance, frustration, and just to be in it and to process that. And it was amazing. I mean, I've done this before, but it was just such a good example of it. Of, wow, just allowing that inner child to be imperfect and to be angry and for that to be okay. And give space for that very human response, that like sense of my need for justice wasn't met in that moment. It didn't feel fair, and that's a genuine, real human need. And just to allow space for the anger and that response that in the past I've shamed myself for so much, and I've been like, oh, I can't be angry, gotta just deal with this, and bottled it all up, and not allowed space to just for anger to be okay and for me to literally express it, but in a safe, skillful way where I'm not taking out on other people. Ultimately, my needs weren't met in that moment, and it was amazing to have that moment of just like, what's going on here? What are the needs underneath here? Well, I didn't actually think that. It's only now on reflection that I'm thinking about the needs. But I mean, I just brought my attention inwards and allowed space for whatever was actually alive in that moment. And it just processed it. And I was able to come back to my heart. And obviously I have the mental understanding that Mum's really stressed. She's trying to do a lot of stuff and she's nervous about, she's got all of her stuff going on, which is probably not very fun to be with. And it's not about me. She's just got all of her stuff going on, She's just, not been that skillful in that moment, maybe. And I probably could have put that chopping board somewhere else, let's be honest. So, I was able to really come back to a compassionate heart, and it was processed and it was done, and that was it. And all it took was a minute to just step away and to really allow myself to feel it. And that's what I've known that I need to do on a cognitive level for a long time. This idea of all we have to do is feel it. allow things to flow through us and not attach to it, and not, make any shoulds or stories around whatever it is coming up for us. It's just to allow the humanness in us. And I've known that for a long time, but it's only recently, over the past, 6 months. I guess it's been a process for quite a while, but really having these clear examples of that experience just quite recently, and allowing that anger. I had one recently around a relationship, feeling like all of these unskillful or like undesirable traits, these insecurities were coming up in me, and actually I noticed the resistance towards them because I didn't want her, this person that I was attracted to, and I wanted her to like me and be attracted to me. I didn't want her to think that I was this super insecure guy, and in my head that's not very attractive. Anyway, that's a whole story. But I allowed space. I really allowed space to be jealous, to be bitter, to be annoyed, to be angry, to be like kind of having a tantrum, like a childish little tantrum, in my own space. I was just in my room, in my bedroom, and all of this stuff that was coming up for me, all of this trauma from past relationships. And that was like, wow, this is it. This is the bit of allowing space for myself. This is how to actually process, rather than to bottle up and to what's the word? Suppress. Because I'm like a dam, I've built this damn wall that so much stuff has been not processed and backed up. And anger's a big part of that. And I've said it in a video before, but I'm convinced that anger is a big part of this chronic pain that I'm experiencing right in the solar plexus. It's different points along my gut, but I am convinced now, to be honest, that suppression of emotion has played such a big part in my pain, this experience in my gut. I think eating is a real, very, very real component as well, and lifestyle, all of those things. I don't think it's any one thing or another. But yeah, wow. Not allowing space, not allowing it to be okay to be angry. That's been my experience, not allowing myself to be frustrated. Or the response to that is, oh, you shouldn't be these things, not allowing this very, very human experience, this part of the human experience, not allowing space for, and shaming myself for it. And that's what it's all about. That's the challenge in life. Is, again, I've said this so many times, but I feel like that's the thing this big lesson that I've learned. That's one of the main things about, that's healing. That's, for me, what healing has been. And again, I've said that before, but allowing space for all aspects of our humanness. And again, this is the point of this channel, is to take a big sigh and just allow space for all of our humanness. Yeah, and I'm just like excited now. All of these things that I thought I had to do, the mind gets so involved, the ego gets so involved, like trying to analyze and figure it all out. And really, the only thing that exists is this continually unfolding present moment. And if we can just meet the experiences that come up for us in the now, in the present moment, and allow them to just be experienced, to happen, to give space for them, to not say that things should be different from how they are. That's hard, obviously, that's really hard. We're being conditioned so strongly. But the more we can uncondition ourselves and do it in a safe way, if that means stepping away, whatever that looks like. I feel like there's so many ways that we can process these sorts of emotions in a way that feels safe and that doesn't cause harm to others. Like, just imagine a world where instead of saying, oh my God, you're really angry right now, don't be angry at me kind of thing, there's like an understanding of like, oh, you're experiencing the process of anger right now. Let's strip away the personalization. And do you want to go off and do your anger processing or whatever? Do you want to step away, or can I help you? And you just talk about the anger state rather than, oh, you're blaming me, stepping out of the pointing, the finger pointing and the judgment. And yeah, if we all just normalized this idea of processing anger or processing whatever the emotion is, right? Anger's the thing that's alive for me at the moment. That's the particular example we're using in this case. But just imagine that. Wouldn't that be an amazing world where we just allow ourselves to process all this stuff? And I've heard that it only ever, if you don't touch or get involved in an emotion, it only takes 30 seconds to process it and allow it to come and go. If we really just fully allow it to be whatever it is, like parenting children, allowing the children to just be experience exactly what they're going through. And you watch kids do this all the time. They have their tantrum and then they're fine. They really just are fully being human, being themselves. That experience, they're not suppressing anything. I mean, that comes later. Depends how old and the relationships that with their parents and what they're learning around them, right? So it may not take that long for them to start to try and control that and stop that and be conditioned out of feeling all those things that are like undesirable emotions to feel or behaviors to show, to do. But can we just imagine that world, That to me is a healed world. And I know so many teachers and people talk about it, about how disease, dis-ease comes from a lack of ease, a lack of allowing space for ourselves. I really do. I'm convinced we wouldn't have such a crisis if there was less should in the world and there was more space, more allowance for all of the human experience, and we had an understanding of that, and we had, capacity or sort of like practices that normalized all of it and catered for it, rather than pretend it's not there. I've spent so much of my life pretending that these things aren't happening, and living in environments like the corporate environment is probably like the ultimate environment for pretending that stuff's not going on and pretending that we're not human beings. Keep your personal stuff at home kind of thing. That's unprofessional. It's unprofessional to be human. It's mental. And to me, that's not wise. I don't think that's effective. I think that's denial. That's just denial of our humanness. There are some people that are so deeply entrenched in this denial that they're completely disconnected from their emotions altogether. And I believe they're in there somewhere, even for the most sociopathic people. They're just so far removed from it. They've built up such a thick dam wall that, like, God, to get back there takes some serious work and self-awareness. Yeah, and I imagine that it's a painful experience, like just staying in the mind, and not feeling and not being embodied. Because to me, that's the nature of this whole crazy experience is when I'm in the mind, I'm trying to keep myself away from the discomfort that's going on in the body. And when I'm not allowing myself to feel all these feelings and these experiences, the body really suffers. So there's an escapism going on. Yeah, I've talked about this before in previous videos, but go check them out. But yeah, just imagine that world. That's a world that I want to live in, where we're all just not pretending. We're not in denial of all these things that are we're all experiencing anger, frustration, blame, all of these unskillful things, unskillful. It's all just needs not being met underneath it all. And I believe I'm a big fan of NVC, nonviolent communication, as I've said before. If you haven't come across it, I can't recommend it highly enough. But one of the principles is that we've all got these universal human needs, we all share the human experience, and at the base of it, we have needs that need to be met. And we're just really unskillful. We just have terrible strategies for meeting those needs. And in this example, the poor strategy in the moment was mum and me just kind of pointing fingers at each other, right? But underneath it all, there's just needs not being met. But what was skillful from my perspective was stepping away and then processing it. And I was like, I'm excited, in all honesty. I'm excited that I've kind of like, this is it. This is what people have been talking about. And I just did it. And it was amazing. And now I can do that. I may not be perfect with it every time, but now that's like, wow, that's part of my life moving forwards now. I know, and I won't always do it super skillfully. I may not be able to do it and all that kind of stuff, but that's my intention now, is to really allow myself to feel whatever's coming up. And it has been an ongoing practice, and that's been my intention for a while. And it's amazing. It's amazing, allowing space for the hardship, the challenges, the suffering, the discomfort, all of it. It's reminded me of Jeff Foster. If you've not checked him out, do check him out. And if he ever watches this, thank you, Jeff. He's just one of the teachers that I resonated with so powerfully. And he's really helped me understand that, like, allowing and bringing compassion to all of it, even our resistance, even the part even the should voice, even the part of it that's, you've got the anger, and then you've got the resistance to the anger, and then you've got the resistance to the resistance, and then, all of the layers. Can we bring love to all of it? And I just came across I just listened to one meditation of Jeff Foster's, and the first thing I'd ever seen of him, and something clicked in me. So yeah, check him out. He's just a beautiful soul that I'm very grateful exists. So if you're watching, Jeff, thank you. I'm sure you won't watch this video, but if ever you do, a genuine, heartfelt thanks. So yeah, do check him out. You may not resonate with him, and I think maybe, how these things work. It was just the right thing at the right time. What's that phrase? That expression that the teacher comes when the student is ready, or something like that. I can't remember, but that was the right time, obviously. So anyway, just allowing. This is all just about allowing space for all of it, and allowing ourselves to feel, and becoming aware of the whole inner world, and noticing, maybe an invitation for you right now is to notice what comes up in you, but also notice how you respond and react, because I think we've been taught in many cultures, in many ways, if that anger comes up, or if that, undesirable emotion comes up, be scared of it, actually. That's probably what's going on. Be scared of it. So then the mind then goes, oh my God, can't be angry, because I'm going to feel the consequences of that. I'm going to, whatever. So then close, and then resist ourselves, resist this very human thing. But we're imperfect. We're this imperfect human, and we're kind of perfect, to be honest. I mean, it's only if we're judging anger as bad or wrong that we deem it as imperfect or messy or whatever. if you label all different types of experiences and emotions as deeply human and sacred, then we are perfect. It's all perfect. There is no imperfect. There's no such thing as imperfect if it's all just deeply human and sacred. And like I've said before, we are from nature. We are nature manifesting, right? We are born of nature, and we will return to nature. Well, I mean, we are nature. We're not really returning. We are nature. And this is how nature is showing up. And that's why I say sacred. It's like having a reverence for all of it. This insane experience. And with that comes such peace compared to like my previous, years gone by. The amount of suffering that resistance and that non-allowance causes is deeply, it's a lot, and it's painful. It's hard to experience. So yeah, the invitation is to feel it all, to allow it all, and allow space for yourself, for your humanness, for your pettiness, your jealousy, your bitterness, your anger, your frustration, whatever seems unskillful, whatever stories are attached to that. The journey of healing is to just let go of the stories, unlearn, strip away. It's never adding. That's the mind trying to add stuff. It's never adding. It's stripping back, unlearning the things that we've learned, returning to our true nature, and allowing it all to be okay. That is a life of fulfillment and nourishment. And my sort of maybe naive, call it what you want, but my belief is that if we're living from this place, then our outer world will sort itself out. I'm nervous about, quitting my job, which is something that I want to do. And I'm nervous about losing that stability and that comfort, and money. I'm nervous about money. That sort of fear around the scarcity of money. But there is this deeper part of me that feels this truth, that all I have to do is feel it all and allow space for all of my humanness. Allow space for the fear of not having enough money. There's even fear about the fact that I'm afraid of money. I'm afraid of my scarcity mindset. So many people talk about scarcity mindset. And I'm afraid of my own scarcity mindset when it comes up. So I've got fear on top of fear. It all compounds on top of itself. It's like, oh my God, I can't have that. Otherwise money won't come to me, Oh, oh, it's so funny. But then it's like, can we allow all of that? Can we allow the fear about the fear as well? When does it stop? Fear about fear about fear about fear. When do we catch it? Can we just allow all of it? And then things will, I believe now that the universe will, unfold in a way that it's meant to. And we will get what we're meant to. Our mind has all these ideas. I want to be a millionaire. I want to be I want to be able to do this, and I want to be able to do that, and I want to have this sexy relationship, and blah, blah, blah. It's hard to imagine that the universe knows what we want better than we do. But that is, I think, as long as I think that's where I'm at right now, although it's really hard to let go of. And maybe there are things that we desire, but that we should be taking action on, But it's like that concept of Wu Wei, and that Chinese concept of Wu Wei, or Taoist concept of Wu Wei. It's like, I'm still a layman, really. I'm learning it. I've just come across it fairly recently, but it's basically this idea of action from nothingness. So I'm not trying to control and go after and grasp for things, but finding stillness and then allowing action to come naturally from it. And I think my understanding of that is what I've been talking about, finding our true nature. And then from that place, it's not like we'll just remain still. We have a nature. We have an innate life energy, life force that does stuff, when we completely let go of control and let go of trying to do, or, it's not like life stops and we just become a hermit. There is a life energy there that's happening. And it's like developing a relationship with ourselves and with life that is reactionary. And just noticing and observing, it's like, oh, that's what I want. And then coming from that place, it's like, let's follow. And there's a desire that this sacred human, this sacred piece of nature would like. And I don't control my desires. They're just there, I don't control that feeling of wanting to move somewhere. That just exists. I'm not making it happen. Where does that come from? So that desire is sacred. And in my head, like, the example that comes to mind is when there's that desire to be like showy-offy, to do something showy-offy or something. There's a story around that, which is don't show off. That's a negative trait. That's all about me, and you're not thinking about other people. But actually, that's a really beautiful, sacred human desire that's come through, that's there. It's not necessarily me controlling it. If I'm in this state where I'm allowing all of it, I think sometimes there's wisdom in not always just, having space to have choice rather than just following every whim. But I think when we are in our true nature, when we are allowing it all and we're doing it from a space of awareness and spaciousness, then sometimes these things come up and it's like, that's just nature expressing itself in a way. That is that desire to be, the center of attention, for example. Instead of lambasting that part of that natural thing that's happened, it's like having reverence for it and being like, whoa, I really want to honor that sacred desire. This sacred human that I am, the sort of captain of this ship that has a nature of its own. I want to honor this amazing being and this beautiful sacred desire. And I want to do that thing. It's completely reframed how I think about myself and what comes up in my experiences. And wow, there's a reverence and an allowance for that now, and a prioritizing of like, wow, this sacred being's needs are really important, and I'm going to make sure that he has them met. Again, I've spoken about this before. I repeat myself a lot on this channel, as I'm sure it's become obvious. But that's what's coming through right now, and I'm not controlling that either. This is nature manifesting. Me speaking like this is, I think, probably what I need to say, or what nature wants to express through me, through this vessel, whatever. Did you hear that? That was my tummy. Just the biggest groan from my tummy. You probably did. I reckon it picked it up. I don't know if that means I'm hungry or something else. Or maybe that was like my body being like, yeah, what you're saying, that's it, you've got it. Oh dear. it's so funny, isn't it? Like how energized and joyful I feel in this moment. And the thoughts I was having before starting to record this video was, God, and again, that familiar thing of not sure if you're going to be able to get through it this time. I think you might be just a miserable old bastard and not have anything of value to say. How wrong. I couldn't have been more wrong. This state of energizedness now is God, I don't know where it's come from. It's amazing. And that's what nature wanted to express through me, obviously. Wow, just reverence for that. Yeah. So, gosh, yeah, my invitation to you. Feel it all. Allow space for it all. And watch your life change. Watch your life change in front of your very eyes. It's not what our mind is telling us that we need to do. It's not the control. It's not the, I need to fix myself and I need to analyze this and really understand this on a mental level, and then I need to work hard to, change this part of me. It's the opposite. It's the opposite, the opposite, the opposite. Just let go of feeling the need to be any different, and it's allowing ourselves to be more of that, to lean into the anger. I literally said to myself yesterday, you're feeling angry, you want to be angry, you want to be frustrated, you want to be pissed off, you want to take it out on others. In this moment, be angry, be pissed off. Don't actually take it out on others, but in your privacy, you can say stuff about others and just finger point and do all that stuff and let it be felt, let it be processed. And that's my invitation to you. It's not an easy skill, and it takes practice to become aware of it, but watch your life change. Watch your life unfold in a different way when you start to do this. It's certainly been my experience anyway, and it's magical. And I feel alive. I feel aligned and back much closer to my true nature, where my mind is not getting involved and in the way. And as I'm speaking now, I'm feeling I'm not thinking. It's just coming. It's just flowing. Yeah, it's not mine in a way. It's literally, people can often be, and this is my judgment of other people, I think some people can be a bit wanky around, I'm just channeling, man. I'm just channeling the flow of the spirit. And that's me being really judgmental of others, but it's true. I really feel that that's my experience of what's happening right now is just, this ain't mine. My mind is not thinking this. I'm not constructing it. I'm not being proactive. This is just flowing. It's just happening, So to take credit for it even would be a bit foolish. So yeah, gosh, feeling a bit chilly at the moment. It's quite cold this morning. But anyway, yeah, feeling that I don't know, I had caffeine or something. I'm quite activated today. Laughing a lot as well, enjoying that, allowing space for that too. Yeah, and God, I could ramble on. When I'm in this mode, I could do videos hours long probably. But I think this is important to say. Where I've talked a lot about the emotions that are really challenging, like fear, anger, frustration, blame, finger pointing, all of those feelings and those responses. I think it's really important to say the same can be said for all the really positive experience, joyful, emotions. My music, God, I'm shivering, look at me. My music community is called the Full Joy community, right? And that's because I've been on this whole journey of realizing how repressed I've been in terms of expressing my joy in its fullness, having an open heart, and really allowing space for that too, and being fully joyful, fully, expressive, because it's just a different side of the same coin. And when we can, I'm convinced that, you know, if we allow space for the joy, for the amazing emotions, we'll probably find it a lot easier to also meet ourselves in the stuff that we have more resistance around. You know, the stuff that is less socially acceptable. So all of it, all of it, all of it. Feel the joy, feel the love. Yeah, be you, you know, whatever is alive in you. We don't have to repress all of it. And life unfolds. Honestly, I've said it already, but life unfolds in such an amazing way when we fully are being ourselves. Whew. Magic. So, let's wrap it up there. Otherwise, I will keep going for a long time. And maybe I could, and that would be fine. But yeah, I'm feeling like now's a good time to wrap it up. Sending you so much love on this journey. I hope that invitation resonates with you, and that you feel like inspired to sort of follow it and step into yourself a bit more and being yourself. And it's scary sometimes. So sending you strength, sending you love, sending you support. Oh God, I'm really shivering now. I'm going to definitely wrap it up. But yeah, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for watching this far and staying with me. I really appreciate that. If you feel inclined to subscribe and like and hit the bell and comment and share and all of those lovely things, then I would be delighted and really grateful for your support. Yeah, and I'd feel nourished that this is resonating with people. So thank you if that's you. And I really, really look forward to these ongoing conversations. And again, if you want to reach out to me, and I'd love to hear back. You know, it is a bit of a one-way flow, this whole thing, and I still haven't posted any of these yet. As I film this, I've got quite a busy schedule, and I'm going away to a festival, and I'm a bit nervous that I really want to start posting. I'm conscious that I might not be able to get all these videos uploaded to cover. I want to do a video a day, and because that's how I'm filming it, and conscious that I may not have time to actually upload all of these videos and schedule enough for me to get back from the festival. So we'll see how it all unfolds. We'll see. They'll be posted when they're meant to be posted. But anyway, I hope to see you in the next video. Sending you so much love. And as always, happy humaning.